Another sad episode of the Herb and Raj podcast coming to you in 20 seconds. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. A little sad that, for us, college football was already over, but now it's officially over as a whole. So
It's over.
How are you doing?
Hello to Lady Alpha.
Hey, Lady
Alpha.
Alpha.
Better night than we are. I don't know, man. So, did you watch the game last night?
I watched when I got home. Michigan was up 7-0, and I watched everything after that. Missed a few parts in between, but I watched the majority of the game. So, how about you? Did you?
No, it was on mute in the background. So, I've had at least two people, and that's the whole number, two people, ask me, when you talked about not watching and whatever. So, last year, we watched the game.
Right.
Georgia TC, or the game.
Well, whatever you call it.
We watched Georgia, yeah. So,
we actually watched that together.
In the mix. We weren't in the mix.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, we had gotten over the hurt, the pain we were in.
Right.
We weren't in it. We watched the game. So, this year we had a shot, an excellent shot to be in the championship game.
Yes, we did.
It hurt worse to see the championship game.
Yes.
And that's why. Are you playing around with the stuff?
No, I'm just trying. I was moving my mouse. I'm sorry. My bad. It's not really working. I didn't do that. So.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I just don't want anybody to think my ego is getting the best of me. So this year, it was just like, and you don't want to take anything away from the teams that earned it, right? They deserve to be there. But every time you watch a play, you're just like, oh, we could have won this one. Oh, we could have got that. You know what I mean? It just, and I feel like that's natural. Had we beat Michigan, especially by like a 20-13 score, let's say they don't score on last drive, I feel like they would say the same.
Right.
Oh, we missed a couple plays here. Oh, we had them where we, you know what I mean? So it just hurt.
It hurt because to your point, we had a good opportunity to make it there. If you look at the events that happened in the Rose Bowl, a lot of things fell our way. Even though we played a horrible game, a lot of things fell our way. They had a muff punt. They missed an extra point. I missed a field goal. I'm sorry. Offensively, they didn't really just destroy us. They didn't play, the best offensive game, but they did exactly what they needed to do. And
which is like
their defense showed up. Their
Yeah.
defense showed up huge, and which is pretty much how it worked out last night. I guess from my perspective from last night, it seems like their defense showed up huge. They ran the ball. I hate to say this, but I want to see your response. They played SEC ball yesterday.
They
Good
did.
defense. They ran the ball down Michigan's throat, and they threw the ball a little bit. If you look at J.J. McCarthy, only had like 150 passing yards. I have to double check. He didn't have a lot of passing yards, but that's how Michigan has been playing pretty much all year. They don't need McCarthy to have like a Michael Penix type of game. Right. They're going to run the ball and play defense and win the game. That's exactly what they did.
And they need him. They need him to make timely runs.
Yep.
And timely throws, and that's what he does. And I'd be surprised if he came back, but I know that's still a decision. We'll start with the last comment. Mike, we were alerted to a game being on last night. I wasn't fully aware before it happened or what was going on. So definitely congrats to Michigan. We have two Michigan friends.
Shout out to Hoda and you. Yeah.
And they both were very gracious about the whole thing and just very excited. So, don't want to take away from any of their shine. So let's see what else you got up here.
Well, McCarthy had...
Yes, finding a hobby is tough. Sorry, Raj, I didn't mean to cough your point.
No, McCarthy had 140 passing yards. He was 10 for 18, 140 passing yards. But again, that's what he's been doing pretty much all year. And as to your point, as far as him coming back, I don't think he'll come back. I think the league knows what he can do. If he was to come back, that offense might not be the same, defense might not be the same, and you just had an undefeated season and won a national championship. Right. It's not going to get any better next year.
Right. And I think so. I was on a preview show and we talked about the game, and I said sometimes I don't know with McCarthy, like, is the team holding him back? Versus like how is that actually playing out? So I think he's probably a better quarterback than what we've seen.
Yeah.
But like you said, it wasn't their MO to do that. So
Right. And I think this is part of Michigan's scheme all year. So he did exactly what they needed him to do. The defense played well. I mean, the defense was suffocating Penix yesterday. Yeah. If you watch that game, he resorted to a lot of screen passes. And even the balls when he actually had time to throw it, he was off. He overthrew a couple of guys. Some of them were kind of low. And then, of course, I think he got hurt with his ankle and then his ribs as well. So Michigan showed up yesterday. I picked Washington. I think we both picked Washington to win, but they do say that defense wins championships. So apparently that's correct.
Yep. All right, let's get through a couple of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm ready right now. I will jump off this show with Raj right now to come on.
No, you won't.
Don't tell Raj I said that. Don't tell Raj I said that. But,
Air Raid Mike, shout out to Air Raid Mike. Yes, we will definitely jump on next month.
Yep.
We'll work out the details.
Yep. Definitely I felt it was just tough. Like I said, it was on because I know we'd want to talk about it and stuff, but it was like I just wasn't into it. I watched more of Georgia TCU, I think, than I did of last night's game. It was just tough. It was tough.
I did. And plus, keep in mind, I was at Herb's house for the Georgia TCU game. I was in Birmingham. So we watched that game together and we were unpleasantly. What were the words? What words would you put together to describe how we watched that game? It was just like, wow.
So TCU scored that one thing, and we thought, okay, maybe it's going to be something, and then that was it. Remember, by halftime, we were just talking about other stuff, and I always tell this story. People laugh. In the third quarter, maybe early fourth, there was a couple there, and they were telling the story about how they met, and then they had a disagreement about going to London, and that's what we were doing last year during.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, see at the table right there. So we
weren't. Yeah, it wasn't exciting. We had a good time at Herb's house. People were there, we were hanging out, having a good time. But the game itself just was underwhelming. I mean, obviously Georgia put on a show, and TCU just was not ready to be there. So
TCU and FSU needed to get together to give Georgia a real shot.
Yeah,
basically what has happened. So. Let's go get a couple more comments while we're still discussing that. Herb is a great guy. Oh, thank you, Herb and Raj.
We'll put that up there.
Raj, don't question the commenters. Yeah, feel losing the Rose Bowl over to yes, it does. It's painful. It is painful. Michigan and Big Ten brand equivalent to Ivy League basketball, low scoring and boring. I will say this: that is the brand of basketball that we wanted Alabama to play all year. Yeah, when we were really sure how unproven Milroe was, we were willing to have that brand all year. Yeah, if we had won every game like 20-13, we would have been fine.
Yeah, I'd been okay with it. And the game that Michigan played last night was the type of football we needed to play against Michigan when we played them. But
basically.
And again, their offense didn't have to do that much. They just ran the ball down Washington's throat.
Although their big plays ended up coming through the run game too. Though, so that was craziness. But JJ McCarthy, Denver Broncos. If that's who you guys want, I don't think he's mocked to the first round though. So that'll
probably not.
I think that's something you can pick up later.
I just don't think he's had to. He hasn't proven enough as a quarterback, but he hasn't had to both of our points. He just hasn't had to throw the ball a lot. So, I don't think McCarthy's a first rounder either, but he'll probably eventually get drafted.
Yep. Go Dogs. Batman rules.
Does Batman rule? Has it been proven that Batman rules? Or I'm asking.
Don't have Randy come after.
There's a lot of people out there that say he's not even a superhero. He's just rich.
6 weeks, is that coincide exactly with the SEC championship game? Is that what we're saying?
SEC championship game was about, what was that, the 4th? December
because I've seen Randy since then, and he looked like he was doing well.
Yeah, Randy's doing fine.
Instead of their picks on Thursday, they have a conglomerate of
they got it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Conglomerate, I try to tune in when I can, man. I just I do what I can, and I'll chime in probably most likely this week. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I tried tuning in, but when they start turning on you as Bama fans just randomly,
it's hard. It's hard. I try to jump in the comments, but there's a lot of Georgia fans in there. It's Georgia affiliated, so it's understandable. But it's pretty entertaining though.
Yeah, but Randy, we love you, man. So that's why we tune in. So the game was the least of the fun at Herb's house. Yeah. We're gonna have to get some basketball games going over here just to kind of wash the taste out of our mouth from the last couple of games we've had. See here Alabama wise. So
Speaking of basketball, Alabama basketball had a big win tonight. They beat South Carolina. South Carolina was like 13-1. So SEC game. So we won that pretty handily. That was good.
Feel better, Randy. Yeah. I think Randy won't feel really better until next year when next year starts. So
yeah. Oh, he'll be excited. It ain't even next year. It probably around springtime once the spring game comes, and Randy will be fantastic.
He'll be fine. Yeah. So we got Thor, Aquaman, and Captain America for Batman. So.
Oh wow.
And Randy, Randy might actually be a little bit sick. So I don't know. I've seen Randy since then, and I guess maybe it's just because he's so professional.
Yeah. Well, Randy, we do hope, on all seriousness, we do hope you feel better, man.
Yeah. LeBron called and said, "Hey, Raj, can I borrow your jump shot?" Oh, okay. Thanks,
I am sad. I saw the pictures of LeBron's 39th birthday party, and I didn't get my invite. I still think it got mixed up in the mail. I'm going to call LeBron probably tomorrow. It's just I don't feel like calling him tonight.
Gotcha.
Whatever.
Okay. Mike, we'll get to your question a little bit later after we finish covering this. So, and Air Raid already has an answer for it. So, so have you looked at like what the top 20? Oh, first of all, like I said, shout out to Miss U, shout out to Hoda, two of our closest friends and Michigan fans. So, they won the championship, man. You can't take anything away from them for that.
Yeah.
Of course, it's funny. It's like the confetti is still dropping, and there's two things that pop out. A, is Harbaugh leaving or not?
Yeah.
B, here's the too early top 25 for next year. I'm like, how early?
They have those ready. They pretty much have those mocked up even before the game. Obviously, that the outcome of the game will decide who's 1 or 2. But did you see Dan Mullins? Dan Mullen posted his top 10, I think 2 days ago. Number 1 and number 2 were Michigan/Washington. So the winner goes 1.
Okay.
The loser goes 2. So for him, it would be Michigan, Washington. Number 3, he had Florida State. He had Florida State at number 3. And that's when I think all the criticism came in. That was that was crazy. I don't see how you have Florida State.
Agreed. It really was last night. That was
last night was. I watched it as a fan of college football, but at the same time, I'm just like right when the game was over, I started watching Netflix. So I finished Fool Me Once on Netflix, and I didn't want to watch anything else. I didn't even watch SportsCenter last night. Watched Colin Cowherd in the morning this morning, but they talk about it a little. It's just weird not seeing any teams from the South in there too. Not even just the SEC, just no teams from the South. So hey, it is what it is.
Yep. Really, Alabama did us a disservice because, I mean, the talk. Like, I do feel like Georgia might have handled business a bit as much as that is painful to admit. Just because they were more consistent at times. But I don't know.
I think
that's had their shots too.
I think that's the word for Georgia is their consistency. Obviously, they had the one game where they played us in the SEC championship, and they didn't look. They had a couple of slip ups and lost, but throughout the year, Georgia was obviously a more consistent team than Alabama. We had our ups and downs, won some really close games that shouldn't have been close. And we just played like straight doo-doo in the Rose Bowl. So
that was bad. So you mentioned it with the top 25 for next year. I looked up ESPN and CBS Sports.
Okay.
They both had the same top 25, but in different. I mean, the same top 10, but in different orders for the top 10.
Okay.
Georgia was number 1 in both, which I agree with. I think they I think the way I don't know, just the way they've been recruiting, the way they're playing. And Kirby has a very consistent thing. So Georgia, I agree.
And going into next year, Georgia will probably have the best quarterback in the country, especially with everybody coming out this year. Carson Beck's going to be probably the number 1 or number 2, just depending on who else you throw out there. So they got that. And the other things you mentioned, Kirby Smart, the recruiting, Georgia will be just fine. They'll probably be number 1.
Yep, agreed. This one was interesting. ESPN had Texas, Oregon, Alabama.
Yeah.
And the Oregon one surprised me just because of what they're losing, but I guess they already recruited 2 quarterbacks, so that was interesting.
Well, Oregon's got Dylan Gabriel coming in, so I think they're expecting him. I don't think he's as good as Bo Nix,
which is the weirdest thing you might have ever.
I know, I never saw myself saying that, but I guess that is a good fill-in for a quarterback, so I guess that's why they're up there. And then Texas, obviously, you got Quinn Ewers coming back. Obviously, and of course, Arch Manning's going to back him up, so they'll be fine. I mean, if you think about it, they're looking a lot of this from who the quarterback's going to be. And that's why, and we're at number 4. We got Milroe. It just depends on how much progression and how much growth he experiences in the next few months, and especially going into the spring game. If he looks, come April, come A-Day, if he looks exactly like he did in the Rose Bowl, you're kind of like, this is my personal opinion. I'm kind of like saying, okay, we've got to give somebody else some more playing time. I mean, what? Yeah, that's true.
No, but I was asked that specific question about what we've got coming in. What do we think about Milroe, Simpson staying? I said I love it. Okay, because I love it because either Milroe improves, and keeps the job, or Simpson pushes him and gets the job. Either way, it's a win-win. So
do you think that was the main reason for Simpson staying, knowing that Milroe
Okay. I think he's the better thrower right now, probably.
I agree.
And I think he's been trying to show off his wheels.
Which,
just to show that, like, hey, I've got some mobility too.
But I'm okay with that. He doesn't have to be as fast as Milroe because he just needs to understand that, hey, if nobody's open and we need 6 or 7 yards, it's good for us to know that Simpson can get those extra yards and he's a better passer. So, again, we'll see what happens in the next few months, but I'm excited to see a QB battle. And obviously we have Julian Sayin coming in, and I'm not speaking too highly of him yet. He is a 5-star. I get that, but he hasn't proven anything to me in college yet. You see what I'm saying? So once I see him, once I hear about him in practice and the A-Day and the spring games, then I'll start speaking more highly of him. But right now it's going to be Milroe, then Simpson. But I think the fight's still there. So.
Yep, I agree. Are you keeping up with all the
I'm keeping up with everything, man. Randy's in there, E's in there. Shout out to E.
So this question has been asked twice, Rod. So who's going to be the next Bama DC?
Yeah,
then I think E threw it in there too. Who's going to be our next DC? And did our former center sabotage it? So I'll take the second question first. I don't think he sabotages just because sabotage implies that he was good all year and then started snapping bad in the Rose Bowl. So he basically was the same person in the Rose Bowl that he was all year. And nobody corrected that or put in somebody else. So,
I do feel like part of him was like, listen, I'm tired of hearing about all the criticism, especially after the way he played in the Rose Bowl. And he's just like, man, I'm out of here. It will be interesting to see if the same thing continues to happen in Ohio State. So
which, by the way, Ohio State came in at 5-1 and 6 in the other. So to go along with what you said about quarterbacks, it'll depend on what they go. So
that's exactly because I know Will Howard's transferring there. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback in the country. I don't know. It's exciting to look at the top 25 for next year and especially with the schedules, especially these SEC schedules for 2024. I'm not sure if you looked at all of them, but I don't really see any SEC teams going undefeated next year in the regular season.
Oh, no, I don't think so either. But I think that's less of a thing now.
And plus with it being a 12-team playoff format, you can have 1 or 2 losses and still make it in, so you'll be good.
Yep. And to follow up on, so I am not good with coaches' names yet, so I have no idea as far as because she's meant T-Rob in this one, but Robinson, will he post up? And somebody else mentioned Alex Grinch, I guess, as far as a possible DC.
I
have no idea.
If we could get our wish, we would probably have Jeremy Pruitt there, but with all the NCAA probing and all that stuff that going on, I don't even know how long that has to last. But we just can't take him in right now. He's got too much.
I wouldn't care if he showed up on the sideline in a mustache and
that would be interesting. Some glasses, some real thick eyebrows, and like a hat that goes all the way down here. Who's that? I don't know who that guy is. It looks like Jeremy Pruitt. Might be Johnny Pruitt.
I would be down with that. If his ID said Johnny Pruitt, I'm totally with it. So
I am nervous though because this defense that we had this year did give me some glimpses of what we had 2015, 2016. And the 2021 and 2022 defense, it was hard to watch at times. So I hope whoever's we're going to replace Kevin Steele can kind of keep the momentum going.
I agree. Best wishes to him, though, man. I think he really changed the culture again of what we had. And what we've talked about it from all accounts, he really just simplified things and said, look, you're in this position, go hit somebody. And I think that's what they did. So great job for him. This was about your comment, Dylan Gabriel not as good as Bo Nix. That's why I'm surprised to see Oregon so high in the ESPN rankings. I realize the team, and I think Lanning has done a great job, but that's interesting to me. Texas, they're jumping to the SEC, but I think to Roger's point, the quarterback play and position is really, really what's driving that. So Their top two guys could probably beat most single guys in the country. So,
yeah.
Randy told us. Thank you. Tyler Buckner starting this year. I don't know any lacrosse positions, so I don't know what he's going to start at. But I do hope he gets a starting though.
This must have been a rough year for Tyler. He was like, listen, football, it just didn't work out. I had that one bad game. I'm quitting this, and I'm just going to go back to Notre Dame.
Well, so you can have a bad game a lot of places. But if you have a bad game in Alabama, we will never, ever let you forget that for the rest of your life.
Yep.
You are branded that for the rest of your life. So, Raw Pat, yep. The Batman hat.
Like I said, Batman's just rich. He's cool. He's cool. All right, quick question then, and I want Randy to comment. What are the best Batman movies? Mine were the 3 Christopher Nolan ones. Probably, I would probably
the original Batman will always stand up.
The Michael Keaton one?
Yeah, just because a little campy at time, but it was definitely a good movie. Then the Christopher Nolan ones for sure. And Twilight Guy didn't do a bad job in his movie.
Twilight Guy?
Yeah.
The Batman. That was actually a good movie.
Yeah.
That was better than I thought it would be.
He's always going to be Twilight Guy. The only part I didn't like is when he got up on that rooftop and he started sparkling in the back.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That was weird. But
for me, I would say the second Christopher Nolan, The Dark Knight, the one with the Joker, Heath Ledger. That was probably my favorite out of all 3 of them. I really like The Dark Knight Returns, but The Dark Knight was probably my number 1. Randy, let me know. Let me know
just because Heath Ledger was amazing. I think he's really the one carrying that movie.
Yeah. So. Well, actually, anybody, let us know your favorite Batman movie of all time. And if anybody says the one with George Clooney and
with Bat Nipples,
Arnold Schwarzenegger played Mr. Freeze, that one, and
that's the worst miscast villain ever. Is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That
Mr.
movie
Freeze,
was.
So no.
Oh my gosh.
No. Yeah. Okay. Storyline for Alabama heading to spring ball. I mean, the quarterback position. Because I think Sands back out there, so continuing to push that. And Justice really, Haynes. Honestly, just getting the new people in and kind of reloading. So you're losing some key positions. I think the secondary is already set at this point.
Yeah, Terry Arnold's gone, Kool-Aid's gone, but I think Malachi Moore will be back. Obviously, Caleb Downs had a phenomenal freshman season. He'll be back. Let me see. Arnold, Kool-Aid's gone. I'm missing one. I forgot the gentleman's name.
Not Key. Key was gone, right?
No, not Key. I forgot him.
And Bama Beat had posted it too out there too as well. So we'll have to get on there. And I think we're going to have him on later. So after a few more things shake out transfer portal wise, we'll kind of go into more of what to expect from Alabama next year and what you expect in spring ball. But that's a good question. So the reason why I never care about the coaches poll is because they just kind of go by their reactions to things. And I think half the time the coaches don't even do this. So
is this a coach's poll for the early 2024 or
I believe it's the end this year.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I really don't even care what that is.
Yeah, the ending rankings for this year doesn't matter. If we didn't win the Natty, it is what it is.
Yep.
So.
And this was Seth will move to Gardos. And I think he was a great blocker. It was just, that position he was in was a key one and didn't work. And then they better not put him in center. Yeah, everyone agrees with that. So.
Yeah.
You do not want Alex Grinch. So T-Rob's contract is up in February.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I don't know. I was not really paying attention when he actually posted that, I think. So yeah. Obviously just a shot at Grinch. So
yeah.
Mr. U stopping by. So Mr. U, we gave him a shout out last week.
Yes.
And then he called us out for ignoring him.
Yeah.
So, Mr. U, your comment is posted. We appreciate you always. We have
appreciate
mentioned you several times already
on
the show, in case you missed it. You're the right guy, and we appreciate you, sir. So,
shout out to Mr. U. He's a Michigan fan. Obviously, they won the Natty last night. So, congrats to them.
If the highest rated returning QB in CV according to
PFF. I guess that's Gabriel.
He's been on the Beck train for a while though. So Reddy's really been touting him. So I was kind of surprised he came back, but I guess maybe he didn't have a first round grade or he just loves Georgia that much. I can't fault him for either one. And to me, there's that and there's that drive to want to go win a championship in college. So I can't fault that.
There's a little salt left in his mouth. So yeah. And like I said, that's probably that's one of the reasons why they're going to get the high rank. They got the best QB in the country next year. So
yeah.
Hey,
Kiffin was on to something. Question if T-Rob was running defense. I mean, nobody said he was wrong. We just said, why are you saying it, right? So,
and I want to throw this out there. I'm not an Ole Miss fan, but speaking of Lane Kiffin, take a look at their schedule next year. I looked at the schedule. I only see one loss, and that's them when they I think they host Georgia. That's probably going to be their only loss in the regular season, and I could be wrong there.
Do they play Oklahoma also? Was that one?
Yeah, but I haven't beaten them. I have them beating Oklahoma.
Oh, so. You got 2 Oklahoma people in the chat.
I know, but hey, Oklahoma. My name's Raj, and I got to speak my truth. That is a cool tagline.
Why did you make it sound like it was a bumper sticker? What was that?
That is a cool. Smile? I like the way that's. My name's Raj, and I got to speak the truth. Okay.
Are you running for office? Like, what did I just miss?
I don't know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I know too much about your scandals in your life. To vote for you for office. I don't know the Apple incident.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Yes, Miami. I know way too much about Miami.
What?
Oh, we know about Miami.
Miami was fun.
Oh,
it's been a good time in Miami.
Texas is losing their top 3 wide receivers. Yep. So maybe Arch will be throwing 2 Ewers.
I think it's Ewers, not Ewers. You said Ewers like you.
Too late.
Okay.
It's official. Whatever. That's all right. Yeah. You can't go back and edit. It's official. Yeah. So. Christopher Nolan, the director of that Batman trilogy. So.
Yeah. I think. And she asked, is it the Christian Bale? Yeah, both the Christian Bale movies, but Christopher Nolan was the director. So.
Yes. And so that's what she asked. Did you ask Christian Bale? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's the director and the actor. Texas had the most. So can we trust an Oklahoma fan to tell us that Texas isn't back? Can we?
I mean,
Mike. You wouldn't lie to us, right?
I don't mind hearing that because, like I said, I live out here and I work with a whole bunch of Texas fans, and they always wonder, is Texas back? And that's what you hear whenever Texas wins a big game. Texas is back, and I was going to admit that Texas is back if they won the Natty, but that didn't happen. So I don't think Texas is back. I think they had a good season.
And that's talking for somebody who already beat though. Mr. You getting some congrats over there. Thank you. Brian, I missed whatever he's calling you out for. So and shaking his head.
Because I said that Ole Miss is going to be Oklahoma. So he does not agree with me. Sorry about that, Brian. Ole Miss they really worked the transfer portal. They ended up getting Walter Nolan. Of course,
is it worth it? Can you work?
Now they lost Quinshon Judkins to Ohio State. I still can't believe they lost Quinshon Judkins to Ohio State.
I mean, you can't complain about Taylor Swift and then not get some Missy Elliott, right?
This is the Beehive over here. Do not let me get Sydney on here. She's part of the Beehive. She's like the associate director, whatever. So no bad blood.
Sorry.
No problem.
And she said it's ew. I already said Ewers though, so sorry. And we saw the Eric Spoelstra pop up 120 mil.
Yep.
They got to get somebody else over there. So at some point,
you mean players or coaches?
Players. He's a great coach and he's maximizing that, but they need another star somewhere.
Like LeBron.
So, yep.
Like another LeBron reunion, Miami Heat Part 2.
I mean, with more titles would be nice. Maybe not lose half of them that you go to.
I'm coming, honey. Yeah, I'm gonna get off. I'm not gonna tolerate this, especially after the dunk that LeBron put up the other day over Paul George. I know you saw it.
Oh yeah, it's nice that they could finally beat the Clippers and not be the Clippers.
Oh, they beat the Clippers twice in a row.
Yeah, that's great after losing 14. So that was great. I mean, celebrate the small things, right?
I'm wearing my Batman shirt.
I've been pointing to the Batman hat back there. I forgot I'm wearing a Batman shirt.
I see it.
I literally forgot I was wearing a Batman shirt.
Why do you like Batman so much?
I mean, just because, when you're a kid, that's the cool hero. The rest of those guys have powers and do all this stuff. But when Batman enters the room, they're like, okay, Batman.
Okay, so. But if Superman was walking down the street and someone shot him, he wouldn't die. If Batman's walking down the street and someone shoots him, he's probably going to die.
First off, his name's Batman. What makes you think he's not going out for milk? Okay. Walking down the street. In what universe do you just see Batman out there? Is he whistling?
What if he wants a caramel macchiato?
Take it off.
What if he wants a caramel macchiato?
Oh, okay.
He wants to go to Starbucks.
I The problem. Yes, I'll have a caramel macchiato grande.
Yeah, he's not gonna put on his Batman costume.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, Batman's getting extra soy. He's getting extra soy. He needs his energy. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So no. So and this kind of goes without say they're back every year. What do you guys think Texas needs to do to the consistency?
Because that's what I was gonna say.
And it's tough right now with the transfer portal to build depth. So anytime, like, let's say, they're losing their top 3 wide receivers, they're recruiting at a high level.
And they're in a
but it just feels like they're not. And I don't even mean consistent year to year.
Yeah.
They kind of squeaked by several games, but it's almost like I said, they rode the Alabama game for a year, but they did not look good for like the second half of the year, Oklahoma State game notwithstanding. So I think it's consistent. I don't know what that is about Texas, but it seems to be the same every year. Like Raj predicted there was a game they were going to lose that they shouldn't. And there was like 3 of them in a row that they almost had that happen to.
Yeah, they almost lost. Yep.
To me, that's the next step for them. So, and Mike says he wouldn't lie to me, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Fire Sark, man. I love Sark. He was a great OC
if
for us.
If they were to fire Sark, Nick Saban would reach out to Sark like, Tommy Rees, we're cool, but look, you need to slide on over. Bring Sark back. He can be our OC.
Yep.
I mean,
I didn't realize this either. That the Oklahoma fans are saying they don't like Sark, so let's be fair.
Yeah, but I mean, he got him that close to a national championship game, so let's not say he's not the answer.
We're gonna say we love Sark because he was our OC.
Yeah,
I don't know that we would take him as our head coach, but we loved him as our OC, so that's where that comes from. So there's a lot of Texas needs to fire Sark and literally ask Kirby Smart to actually price and pay him. I mean, I would take Kirby anywhere. Dan Lanning would not be a bad choice either, just from what I've seen from there.
Yeah.
So. And here's the Batman question: enjoy the Gnome because rises because it leads on the No Man's Land storyline. Enjoy the Batman in part for the same reason. Yeah. So
I'm excited to see the Batman too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So
yep, because I hear the werewolves are coming in the second part of that one, so that one should definitely be interesting. Majority of the Real Tex fan I know actually don't like Ewers or Brewers. We're gonna have to get a Texas fan on here eventually.
Yeah. Let's
get that's what we've had one earlier in the year, but we're gonna have to get a Texas fan.
Does that mean they don't like him like as an individual, or is he cocky? I don't know. I don't know what that means. So, we'll
spoiler alert: walking down the street didn't go well for his parents. Technically, they were in a dark alley after a movie.
After a movie or something. Yeah. Or they went to the thing. Yeah. So
because they were fine going out to get milk. So
yeah.
And Kirby Smart. I shoot any one of the big dogs have a coaching opening, I would open the pocketbook up for Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smart's not leaving Georgia though.
No, he's not. I wouldn't either. But
I know the Falcons fired their head coach, and everybody's like, "Oh, are they going to reach out?" Kirby's not leaving. You would not leave Georgia to take the Falcons job and then be fired.
Why do you have to say the Falcons like that though?
That's their team name. What do you?
Yeah, but you didn't say you would leave for the Falcons. Nobody's leaving for the Falcons.
All right, nobody's leaving for the Falcons job.
Oh, that's even worse.
And then he goes there and he's out of there in 3 years. So no, Kirby's not leaving. Kirby's not leaving Georgia anytime soon. He's built a great thing there. They're going to be in national title contention every year, pretty much. Recruiting is going to be there, so Kirby's staying.
Okay. We're going to transition into some NFL, but I did want to, because Spolster was mentioned, every week we're going to give you E's list of top 8. Always asking for the top 8, top 4 in each division. Boston, Milwaukee, I'm surprised to still be up here just because I root for them, but they look terrible. So it's the defense isn't there. They missed the game and they got smoked. Yeah. Indiana owns them this year. It's just terrible. So I want better for them, but Boston clearly looks like the better team. And I don't know that I would take them in a 7-game series against Philadelphia right now. So I love to see them up there. I hope they get it together, but man, they're disappointing me.
That's why when the Damian Lillard trade was executed, I was like, okay. I mean, that's a good pickup for them, but I still don't think that gives them the championship right away.
Right. Agreed. And then you got Denver, of course, still up there. Okay. I love OKC, man. I know Mike out there watching will love that too. So love seeing them play. The Los Angeles Clippers. Sorry. Thought that might have been the Lakers, but it's actually the Clippers. So just make sure you read that.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. And the Timberwolves. So appreciate you keeping us up to date on the NBA. So that's something we'll probably be watching a little bit later. So what else we got? Oh, so do you think Harbaugh leaves? That was the other part of that 2-part question.
Yes, I do. I think he's accomplished, you just had a perfect season. You went out on top. I think the itch for the NFL has been there for a little while, and this is the perfect time to leave. And he also knows that if he comes back to Michigan, he's not going to have the same offense, not going to have the same defense, new quarterback, et cetera. And maybe he might not want to go through all that. And he's been there since 2015, 16 anyway. So, hey, go ahead. You did what you could. You brought him back to national relevance. And hey, time to go to the NFL. There's a lot of openings out there too. What if he takes the Chargers job? You got your quarterback right there.
That's where I would go if I was him. Do you know what's actually was rated as the ESPN rated? No, I'm sorry, CBS Sports rated as the number one.
The Chargers
opening? No.
Who?
The Redskins. I'm sorry, the former Redskins, the Washington.
The Commanders.
Yes, okay. Commanders. Sorry, showing my age.
That's the number one.
Yeah, Chargers were number 2.
I would think it was the Chargers first, but
that's what I would think so too.
Washington
was purely based on they have a new owner. That was it.
Yeah,
they didn't say anything else.
I was about to say because I don't think everybody's set on Sam Howell yet. So
yeah,
and they got a good.
You have the number 2 pick. So
yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay.
So just to catch up on Tex, real if OSU didn't pay the rest of BW, he wins the Big 12. Tex would have a shot for the playoffs, so he would have been fired. So I do think if they if they hadn't won the whole thing, that he would be out by this year. So he definitely saved his job. So. This one did answer, but no, I don't think so. I think he's built a great thing at Georgia, and I think he stays. So I definitely think he's staying there. So because he said the Falcons, exactly. Oh, America, Lacey Michelle, chick knows her stuff, and she's a good person. Okay, we'll check her out. Send if you can send us that on Twitter, and we'll go there. So we did have a Texas person on earlier this year. We haven't talked to him since then. And our second Texas person, we can never get the scheduling right. So definitely down to get a Texas person on and to see that. So, and that's something we're going to see a little bit more of to help fill the gap. You're going to see some season reviews from different people. Is there a, what? There's a comment down there I got to go check out.
I didn't say anything.
Oh my gosh. So every time I think of Kirby, I think the video game. That's fair. That's fair. The Thunder beat Denver.
Oh, the little pink guy.
Yeah, the little pink guy.
I forgot about it. Oh, yeah.
Come on. Thunder beat. Yeah, look, I'm on the Thunder train, man.
Thunder got a nice young team, man. Yeah. And Chet Holmgren's having a good season, so.
Yeah. So you have to mention Chet. What about SGA, baby? Serious MVP candidate. So.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, yes, Kirby will to Denver. You guys aren't you still paying for the last guy to get there? So I don't know about that one. So they win the West. So they're going to the NBA championship. Is that what we're saying here?
Who? OKC?
Bold take, yeah. I would love to see it. So not New Orleans. Oh, who is this? Oh no, Cowboys Nation is in the
My beautiful wife has chimed in. Cowboys Nation here. She has a question for the twins, and for both of us. Her question being, are you gonna click on it?
What's the chance of the Cowboys
making it to the Super Bowl?
So right now, the Cowboys are the second or third best team in the West. I don't think they're better than San Francisco.
No.
And they basically had to Detroit took them to the wire at Dallas.
Yes.
Which I didn't think was possible. To me, those are they have a serious chance to make it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they can beat San Francisco and San Francisco.
That is probably, I share the same exact sentiments. I feel like earlier in the season, it was Philadelphia over Dallas, but over the past few weeks, Dallas has been trending up and Philadelphia has been trending down. But San Francisco is still the team to beat in the NFC, and I think it's going to come down to those two playing each other at some point. If so, I have San Francisco winning that game, but it's going to be a close game. But to answer your question, babe, excuse me, Sydney, one of our fans, Sydney. Yeah, the Cowboys do have a chance, but they have to get through San Francisco. Good. That's a great question. One of the best questions we've ever had.
Wow. Okay.
She's so hot.
Oh, okay. We're good.
Right.
Got that.
Thanks, babe.
So, and here's the other people, 45% to 70%. Yeah. So, it just depends how it breaks and that game. But San Francisco handled them the first time. So,
make sure you click on all Sydney's. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, we definitely agree. No Kirby to NFL. So, what's the second one? That she loves you?
Oh, the little hearts. For those that don't know, Sydney's my wife. She's just chiming in. Love you too. Bye.
That was a good question. If they're going to get, and so they haven't given the coach a head the seal of approval either. So he really needs this win.
I think
to get it done.
I was about to say they want to see what happens in the postseason, and they host Green Bay Sunday, so that should be a win. And then I got to look at the playoff bracket again to see who they play after that. Oh wow, Green Bay's beating us. I can't pick Dallas in the first round until they can prove me wrong.
So
I don't know about that one. Now,
our official picks, our official picks for this weekend will be out in the YouTube video in some form or fashion. That's a teaser just to make you have to watch our videos. So our official picks will be out there. So missed this one, basketball. Boston, OKC. I'd be rooting for OKC if that happened, but that's
me too.
But
definitely
Boston looking like the best team in the East by far. So I couldn't see that.
Maybe
but he did mention that. You want to talk about some of the matchups this weekend? We won't give our picks yet, like you said, but say what?
Maybe Boston and the Lakers. So yeah, you were saying you want to go ahead and talk about this weekend's matchup. Listen, the Lakers are not making it to the finals. I hope we make it to the playoffs at this point.
Exactly. So that's I think the Lakers and Golden State might both miss the playoffs. So it could be bad. So Mike, you have a great night, buddy, man. Love you.
Shout out to Mike, Big Mike. Good night, man. We'll definitely talk soon. Yes, Brian, we know OKC won by double digits.
Brian's going to mention every team that they beat this.
Brian's going to comment so we say it.
You know what's sad? We're like rooting for OKC. And he's like, well, we did this. I'm like, bro, we already love you. Like
Brian is channeling his inner Raj energy right now. That's what I do too. I will comment. You're going to read this. Yes, Brian. We acknowledge OKC. They're having a great season, young team.
Yeah. And somebody I can root for. Like there's nobody on there that I root against. So.
Josh Giddey has that team.
I did wonder if the Giddey stuff was going to derail him or the team, and it seems to kind of not. But I do sometimes wonder if that's going to come back up at some point.
I didn't know if the team was going to tell him to giddy up and leave. Yes, that has to be top 3 ever since we've been doing this podcast. That's a top 3 joke.
If that's a top 3 joke, all the other jokes have just been pure trash, huh?
Well, I've got number 1, 2, and 3. All yours suck, but that was funny. That was hilarious.
Now that was your best joke.
Oh man,
can y'all keep the show going for like 3 or 4 more hours?
Honestly, Randy, if I had the time, I would definitely do it. I talk for hours, but man, we gotta take care of some other things. Have fun at work if you can. And I will definitely be tuning into Randy's shows tomorrow and Thursday, I believe. So
yep. Awesome. And Randy did have a and to your question, Air Raid, we're about to mention for who or for whom?
What do you mean?
Just to get rid of him. And we'll
post
that question in a minute. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll post
I
it
got you.
And then I guess Randy, I missed it but he asked where is the Washington coach, the guy. I mean, if he wanted to leave.
Oh yeah, Kalen DeBoer. Yeah. I think he's been mostly an OC, and we need a DC. So I don't know what's going to happen in Washington. Who's backing up Penix? Who's going to be their QB next year? I need to see where their rankings are for next year. Like, are they in the top 10 or where do they land?
So in the ESPN one, they came in at 11 or 12. I wrote just down the next 2. And then CBS, they weren't in the top 12. So I don't think anybody's really is really looking for them next year. I don't know what to expect at all. So like I said, Air Raid, we'll post that question. If tell us who you think for, and we'll post that question together. So, marketing from Utah. I feel like he's just wasting away at Utah for real. So
who's that? Mark? Yeah, I forgot he was out there, man. And Utah's not having a great season too. So
don't really give up. So I got that. So Rod, first matchup we look at. And I think that was the other stuff I wanted to cover in there. Cleveland at the Texans. So Cleveland actually favored in this one.
Yeah.
Great defense. Texans kind of slided. And we do have a Jaguars fan out there, so we do have to mention that. Now, Brian, we'll get Brian on the show one of these days. He can help out with the.
I had them making the playoffs and winning their division, but I didn't think things were going to turn out that way. So
I mean, part injuries, part just inconsistent play. Would they already fire the DC and the defensive staff? Still looking at the offensive side of things, but it's just it was just bad. The way they ended the year, the way the rest of the division seemed very consistent. They had a good division record and still just couldn't get it done at times. I mean, changes definitely have to be made. I agree with that.
I agree.
this would be a good matchup. I mean, getting a home game. Cleveland, like I said, is favored. I'll be rooting for the Texans.
I'm going for the Texans.
NFL shirts, but we'll make our official picks later. But just kudos to the Texans, man. Kudos to Stroud, Anderson out there, and coach. I mean, just a great
shout out to D'Amico Ryan too, man. Excellent job, first year.
Yep. So love it for them. You already have a Houston is winning this, so man. I hope so. I'll be rooting for them. And then the game on the Peacock.
You better not throw any jokes. That's a joke. The fact that it's on the Peacock channel. That's
I don't get it. Like, why would you put that on network?
I don't know. I am not a Peacock subscriber, but I will figure out a way to catch this game. Obviously, my Dolphins are playing at Kansas City. First game.
So be honest. Be honest.
Yeah.
How disappointed are you with the way the season ended?
Very disappointed. And you actually mentioned it 1 or 2 days ago. That win, the loss we gave up to Tennessee really, really screwed us over. We were up by 2 touchdowns with 3 minutes left, I believe. Lost that game. Had we won that game, we probably still would have ended up in second, and we would have been hosting Buffalo this weekend. But unfortunately, we lost. There might have been 1 or 2 other games we probably could have won. But yeah, I'm disappointed, to answer your question, on the way the season ended.
Yeah, I agree. So.
But I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not posting Brian's last comment, but we're happy to know it, Brian.
Shout out to Brian.
Raj would be very happy if this happens, though. So, first off, how banged up are y'all going into this game? Do you have enough players?
You know what? I haven't looked at it today. It's still kind of early. I was gonna take a look probably tomorrow night or Thursday because I know Waddle was banged up. Mostert's banged up. We really need Mostert banged up because we're gonna have to run the ball a lot. Xavier Howard's banged up. I think Tua's shoulder was bothering him a little. Tyreek's still not 100%. But I will admit this. I actually feel better about us going to Kansas City than us hosting Buffalo. Because every time we played Buffalo twice, they beat us twice. We played at Kansas City earlier in the year. We lost and we only lost by 6 points. And Kansas City's offense hasn't looked like they have in years past. So
they be smoking y'all. Yeah.
So I'm
beating y'all up.
I'm feeling okay about this weekend. I hear you, Herb.
You just trying to ignore me. Yeah, it's gonna be 0 degrees. Yeah, I don't. So I think one of the shows that this week they had where they were like, "Oh, we just don't give Miami any chance." Kansas City's not blowing anybody away. You know, no matter how these games go, they're not consistent either. So I think this will be a good game. He's like, no way Miami wins this. I think I'm gonna be shocked. So
bye, Brian. No,
Brian put away. He's mad that you didn't post his comment, so now he's like,
yeah, we couldn't post one of them.
So so that's the first couple of games. Pittsburgh and Buffalo. I mean, I guess it's a great coaching job for Pittsburgh to get this far.
Yeah,
but, Buffalo's not playing at home. I mean, maybe if they get a couple, Minka might come back for this game.
But they're going to need more than Minka. They're going to need James Harrison, Big Ben in his prime, everybody.
How bad have you messed up the quarterback position if you're going back to Mason Rudolph and that's all of a sudden
I don't know.
Choice? So
I don't know. Heck of a coaching job by Tomlin. I mean, everybody was saying, "No, this is his last year," but I mean,
I was one of those people. I was one of those people who thought they were going to walk away, but then things broke right and they actually made it. So I agree. I want the Six for Tomlin. I did kind of wonder if it's run its course at Pittsburgh, but kudos to him. Shout out to the team for making it this far. So
yeah,
and you've got the so you'd rather Miami win and then both of these Buffalo by 40.
Yeah, but I mean Buffalo and Pittsburgh, they're playing 2 different type of offenses right now. So
you mean existent and non-existent?
Basically, yeah.
You are 1,000% correct there, Raj. So
yeah.
Then that brings you to Green Bay at Dallas, which you had.
I mean, I got Dallas
from Randy in there. Yeah. So Dallas is just tough at home, man. Like I said, one of the things that gave me more respect for Detroit was how tough they played them at Dallas. So, but Dallas is tough at home, man. And Green Bay, Jordan Love, I like what he's showing for the future. I don't know if they're ready for this stage yet. In Dallas, you've got to be thinking, man, Super Bowl or McCarthy's going home. So.
Yep.
Plus, they got to win for your wife, right? So
yes, Dallas will win this Saturday.
The Oklahoma boys are already split on that. So yeah. And Randy, we'll post your programming notes in a second. So
yeah.
This one, so this is about Tomlin and Nola. Dennis Allen seems like he's safe there.
Yeah,
which it just seems like a squandered year. The talent was there. The division was terrible, and
what type of year was it, Herb?
What? A squandered year?
Wow, squandered.
That's not even a big word.
Okay. You've never said that word on this show before. Squandered?
I mean, we haven't. A lot of people weren't squandering stuff.
Ever since you bought those glasses, you have just.
Oh my god!
I'm just playing. I'm playing. Sorry to interrupt you.
And this was going back to the Dak thing, by the way.
Speaking of the Saints, hold on. I hate to derail this right quick, but what do you think?
Do you really hate to derail it, or are you happy to derail it?
Deter. I should have said deter. What do you think about Jameis Winston's last call in the game with the Saints when they wanted Jamal?
Oh my goodness! So let's go back to one thing first. You've given up. So what he's talking about is the Saints coach. They're up 41-17. And they score another touchdown with like it was like
40. It ended up like 47.
They get into the victory formation and then run a touchdown in instead. Right. Dennis Allen is going out there to talk to Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith is mad, yelling, I'm screaming. Dennis Allen's like, my bad. The players apparently, Dennis Allen told them, hey, take a knee, and they were like, nah, bro. And they gave Williams one touchdown because what he had led the league or something the year before in touchdowns.
2022, he led the league in touchdowns. This year, he's only had like one.
No, I think he had 0. He had 1 after this.
I mean, the one he scored this past.
Yeah. So they gave him his only touchdown. Yep. And then there was the dust up, and then Arthur Smith gets fired, which adds insult to injury. First off, let me just tell you, if you've given up 41 points in a game, the 48th point is not what killed you.
He knew he was getting fired before that game started.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So just take your anger out somewhere else. Is it a shady way to do it by faking the victory formation? Yeah. Do I really care? Nah, man.
No, I don't
teams
care.
that weren't going to the playoffs.
Right.
Like I said, you'd already given up 41. The game wasn't close. And you guys are division rivals, man. You can get up next year. So, And I think about it in certain ways. Like, if Alabama is playing, I don't know, the school for the deaf and blind, and we run it up at the end with that, that's one thing. But I'm going to tell you this. If Alabama.
You think of another example to use?
No, I could because I don't want to insult any other school.
Shelton State Community College, something.
But we love Shelton State Community College, so we wouldn't do that to them. But if you're playing your rival, if Ohio State is playing Michigan, and there's 5 seconds left in the game, and one of them is up by 30, and they score a touchdown, go up 37, you do that in rivalry games. So all this notion of like running up the score here and there and whatever, man, sometimes you just got to stop them. And in the pros, you guys are getting paid, so you have even more chance to stop them. So no. I think that unfortunately was to him not getting fired.
Yeah.
He threw his whole team under the bus against his rival. Yep. Squandered.
I'm telling you, man, that's the new one. Herb has a very, very expansive vocabulary.
Oh my goodness. Saints need Sean Payton back. They probably do. They had enough talent to win the division. I'll say that much. That's what really that's what really I didn't like about this season for them. So Williams deserves something. Yeah. Like I said, I just didn't see it was big a deal. The game was way out of hand. The season's over with. You gave up one more touchdown. Oh well, man. Sorry, not sorry. Let's see what you got. 2 more matchups you wanted to cover real quick. The Rams at Detroit, homecoming for Stafford.
Yeah.
Detroit, man, looking like a real contender for this. I don't know if they're good enough to beat San Francisco, but they clearly showed that at least that number 2 spot is open. So they got to. I would think they need to start off with a big win here.
I agree.
And love how Gibbs is playing. By the way, just absolutely love it. So yep, Lions get it done. Love it.
He got his 10th touchdown this past Sunday, so that's good for him.
Yep. So and so apparently the Oklahoma boys don't like get together and talk about this because they're differing on a lot of picks.
A lot of stuff, yeah. Differing.
That's not even a big word. It's almost like
I know.
scripted.
I'll give you a pass on that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Philly and Tampa Bay. Philly just stumbling into the playoffs. So if I had told you like a month ago that Philly would be a 2.5 point favorite against Tampa Bay, you would have said no way, way bigger. Right now you're like 2.5 seems about right.
I did not see them with 6 losses early in the season. I really thought it was going to be like 2 or 3. So I don't know.
Yep.
And did you see Nick Sirianni after the last game? I think the post-game press conference, they were just asking him all kinds of questions about how he felt. And Nick Sirianni was apoplectic.
First off, he wasn't. He wasn't. You can't just throw out a word and use it incorrectly.
He was angry because they kept asking him how he felt. And he's like, dude, I don't feel good. Okay, sorry.
Oh my gosh! So the Baker Mayfield chance. Yep.
Yeah.
And then the Philly wins easy.
Wouldn't that be a heck of a story?
Are you guys just sitting there, just sitting next to each other and determining who's going to type which one?
wouldn't that be a nice story for Baker Mayfield? Though everybody kind of wrote.
Is this about to be a crappy joke?
No, it's not.
Okay.
He did make some really cool progressive commercials, though. I thought those were pretty funny.
I did like them back then. Yeah. So, yeah. And I agree with this. This is the kind Rams are feisty. So this is definitely one of those. And Detroit does not play well enough for a whole game for them to sleepwalk on something like this. So they definitely better come correct enough. So, all right, Raj, about 5 minutes left. And then, like I said, I'll post Randy's programming notes for the week too as well, and then mention everybody else that we're on. So you ready for a couple questions?
Let's do it.
If Randy's still listening, he'll like this one. So we gave this question to Randy, and I think Air Raid Mike has got it. So we'll have to start getting some TikTok videos up.
Yes.
Just kind of like he did. We need a new coach, OC, and DC at Alabama.
Okay.
But each one of them has to be a supervillain. Who fills what spots?
My defensive coordinator is probably going to be Darth Vader. If you fail there, there's no we're going to punish you. There's death. So that defense is going to be strong. You said super villain.
Yeah, they're going to be strong or non-existent.
I might have Lex Luthor as my offensive coordinator. He's smart. He doesn't have superpowers, but he is isn't he smart? I don't. Yeah. I'm not as versed in those type of things as you are, but Lex Luthor is really smart. I think he write up some really, really cool plays, and
and good at diagnosing weaknesses. So that would be a good one too as well.
As far as our head coach, supervillain, not Thanos. He's too destructive.
Yeah, could you imagine losing half your team after a loss?
Well, the game ended after the first quarter. Everybody just disappeared. Who would I have as my head coach? Supervillain. This is any supervillain, right?
Any supervillain.
I haven't watched The Boys, so I don't know about that guy. What's his name? Homelander?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with him, but he seems like a pretty cocky, kind of slick kind of guy. But I'm not familiar with his superpowers and how he is because I've never seen The Boys. So I don't know who I want my supervillain is where it kind of gets funny at.
Yeah. I mean, you've already got Lex Luthor and Darth Vader, so I'm not sure that...
I don't know how three of these guys are going to get together. Yeah. Meeting? Who called this meeting without my permission?
Yeah.
Sorry,
one
Darth.
of them is dying by mid-season for sure. So
you know what? I'm just going to leave Homelander out there. I don't know.
Cocky and very evil.
Yeah. I'll take that. You kind of need that as a coach.
Is that what you're saying, Nick Saban?
I'll stick with Homelander. He's not. I don't think Saban's cocky, but he has a little evil side to him. He's got the dark side to him. So you need that.
Is Nick Saban more Homelander or Darth Vader?
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darth Vader. Yeah.
He seems like that.
Yeah.
Yes. I could just see him in a meeting going, "Your lack of tackling disturbs me."
Yeah.
Choking somebody out. So I can see it.
Yeah.
Only tap they hit you up. So Baker had a good year there.
Yeah.
Definitely had a good year. I feel like that whole division was crap, and we didn't notice them as much as we could have.
Yeah.
So, all right, Raj, ready for work, play, live?
This is my favorite one. Yes.
Yep. Playoff edition. You ready?
Yep.
Texas, Washington, Michigan.
I'm gonna hang out with Texas because of the barbecue. I think they'll show me a good time.
Okay.
Washington will probably be my neighbor.
Yeah.
I think I could get along with some Washington guys. That'll be cool. And I'd work with Michigan because I wouldn't want to have to be around them too much and then too many scandals.
Too many scandals.
I'm just playing. I'd work with Michigan. They seem professional, so yeah. They'll keep me in tune. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't mind cutting corners either.
Yeah.
How'd you guys get that 3-hour job done in an hour?
Don't worry about it. Oh my! Where the heck did you get the binoculars from? Oh man, this has my stomach hurting. This is hilarious. Wow.
All right, we're gonna play a little schedule roulette here. Okay. You have to remake Alabama's schedule. Okay.
For next year?
For next year, or let's say for the next couple of years.
All right.
You have to start playing a home and home against a former Pac-12 team. Okay. You have to end the year, no more Auburn. You have to end the year against an ACC team. And for the next 2 years, you have to play 2 Big Ten teams. How do you make the schedule? Who do you want and where?
Washington is going to be my home and home. Clemson.
Why? Because they're losing everybody and you're like, whatever?
Maybe.
Okay.
I thought about Clemson. No, we've already had our rivalry with Clemson. I'm going to say Florida State, just so we can put that to bed. And actually, we play Florida State in 2026.
If we're all still alive by then.
Yeah, I got to double check that, but we do play them in a couple years anyway. But to answer your question, it would be Florida State. And what was the other one? ACC.
2 Big Ten teams for the middle of the year.
I'm going to go with Ohio State because I really wouldn't mind seeing that matchup. We just played Michigan. And Iowa, just so we can get a beat down. Just so we can beat down Iowa. It's not going to be an entertaining game, but just to give us an easy little win in there. I'll take it.
And this is where I'm different from you, man. So we're starting the year with Stanford, if it's me. The Big Ten teams in the middle, yes. We're playing Illinois and Indiana in the middle of the year.
Wow.
We'll play
some basketball schools.
Yes. And then we'll end the year with Virginia or Wake Forest. So
gotcha.
I'm trying to get us to 4-0.
You're trying to, yeah. I need to see us play some competition, though, man. Just to know.
No, I don't know. I don't care about all that. We got enough competition to practice.
Gotcha.
I want us to get to the playoffs. Don't forget. And I got a bonus question for you.
Yeah.
To kind of prepare us for basketball.
Yes.
If LeBron retired tomorrow.
Not going to happen.
As maybe, I don't know, 5th or 6th greatest basketball player all time in the city of Los Angeles. In the city of Los Angeles. Who would be your top 5 favorite players to possibly replace them as like players you would root for? Okay. This is an abbreviated Rogers top 5.
Wow.
I know they won't take his spot in your heart. But if you were like somebody say, okay, who's your guy now? Who are you going to follow? Who you got for me?
You know what? This is a good question. I really liked Zion coming out of college. I did not know he was going to have the issues he's having.
I know you're not taking Zion.
No, I'm just throwing this out there.
Oh, okay.
I really
use my
did not know he's going to have like the weight issues and the other issues he's going to have on injuries. So Zion's not on the list.
Sometimes just put the biscuit down.
Yeah, or the beignets or whatever it is, or the crawfish or the shrimp po' boys. I would say
throw that one in.
Let's see here. Ja Morant's entertaining. Unfortunately, he's having his shoulder surgery, so he's out for the rest of the year.
So let me just say this I texted Raj, and I said, "Hey, Ja Morant out for the season."
Yeah.
And the first thing he texted back was, "Did he make another video?"
Because I didn't know. I thought he made another video after a win, and they just said, dude, we can't do it. So
that's awful, by the way.
Yeah, maybe Jason Tatum. I like Jason Tatum. So I put Jason Tatum on the list.
Who's actually on the list right now?
After LeBron?
Yeah. Just Jason Tatum? No, I'm saying who's in this top 5? Because you said maybe Zion. Is he actually on your top 5?
You know what? I'm gonna look. Yeah, I'm gonna put Zion and Jason Tatum right there. And this is keeping the fact that maybe Zion stays healthy and whatever. We'll see how that.
The man has a weight clause and a non-guaranteed contract.
I know that's it. And you know what? Zion Williamson and Michael Jordan are both 6'6", and I did not realize that for a long time because Zion does not look like he's 6'6".
He looks like he's a couple 6'6s, if you know.
Jordan was like 6'6", 210 or something like 210, 220.
Yeah.
Zion is 6'6", 400.
We're getting canceled.
All right, so I got Zion, Jason Tatum. I do like SGA. I know I mentioned Chet's name, so I put SGA on the list for that's 3 right there. 2 more. I'm interested in Wemby. I'll put Wemby on the list. I like watching him play this year. Obviously, the Spurs are having a great season, but it's kind of cool to see somebody that size shoot the ball as well as he does, and just his length and everything is pretty cool. And the last one, you might not know this, but I actually like Darius Garland. guard from Cleveland. I like him. I've liked him.
I mean, that's fine, but I think most people aren't even gonna know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know, but I like Darius Garland.
Okay. So, Zion loves that. Yes, he really does. He really does. So, appreciate you as always,
Mike.
I know he's been getting back into the swing of regular stuff. So always go check him out. We always try and retweet whenever his shows are, and obviously want to be on the show. Whatever you want us on, man, just let us know. Yeah, Zion, he's wide as tall. Yes, he's a big old boy. We're trying to be nice, but
man.
He's a professional athlete.
Yeah,
and they put a clause in here that you have to eat right. I just your NBA career. Let's say it starts at 20, right? You're lucky if it makes it to 32 to 35. So people are basically saying you have all this money and take care of yourself up until then. And you see all the talent. And if you told me the only thing that's keeping you from recognizing your full talent is keeping in shape, and your job is to keep in shape, then like that means
you're not taking your job seriously.
Yeah. So that's what frustrates me. So maybe we're taking it too far. Definitely, not want to shame him, but yes, like that's what it just doesn't make sense to me. So since Randy's one of our guys, we wanted to post his No Thursday show this week is only on the first Thursday. I forgot that. So, but Randy will be on tomorrow to talk more Georgia Bulldogs. To show we love Randy, we're two Alabama guys listening to an hour of Georgia Bulldog talk. So that tells you that we love Randy. We saw Mr. Ewan in there earlier. Oh, he's all on. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Saw Mr. U. His show's on Monday morning. Raj and I are contributors to that Monday morning, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Then he and Bo and I will be on tomorrow morning as well. 8 a.m. Excuse me. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. So see, Cat like that one. So Raj, you survived everything. You've put in. You compared Nick Saban to Darth Vader. That means it was a good show.
Wait, Darth doesn't laugh like that. Never mind.
No. So probably going to have a guest on next week. We haven't decided exactly who and what we're going to cover, but we will be here. Michigan Wolverines are your champ this year, and the rest of us will be on the next year.
Don't remind me.
Right, for the Herb and Raj podcast, we will be back with you next week. Again, look for us on our YouTube channel. We've been making our NFL picks for the weekend as well. And Raj, roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide.